Hi, what we're making tonight is traditional Italian carbonara. Super easy to make, super tasty. I'll take you through the ingredients. This serves 4 people. So as you'll see, there's not a lot of ingredients in this, which is as it should be for a, like I say, a traditional Italian carbonara. So what we've got is 3 eggs which have been sieved. I always sieve them if I'm making something that's only going to be cooked quickly, and the eggs in this are only in the pan for a short amount of time with very little heat. If you were making batter or scones or baking or something like that, sieving them is a bit pointless. You've got 200 grams of pancetta. If you can get pork cheek, I would use pork cheek. Pancetta works perfectly well, available obviously in every supermarket. You've got around about 30 to 35 grams of cheese. Again, pecorino is the traditional one. This is cheddar, it works just as well. Some white or mixed pepper for seasoning. We're not going to use salt in this. There's lots of salt in the bacon, and if you are using pecorino as well, it's going to be way too salty, so no salt needed. And 400 grams of pasta. Spaghetti, so either dried or fresh, doesn't really matter, just adjust your cooking times accordingly. I'll put the recipe on there as well, just in case you can get all that, but not many ingredients at all, as you can see. And I'll show you just how easy it is to make a delicious Italian carbonara. So in your large pan, you've got your pasta water. We're going to put that onto a high boil and get that boiling before we put any pasta in that. So we're going to get that on a super fast boil. That'll take a while to heat up, and whilst we're doing that, we're just going to start with the pancetta. As you'll see, there's no oil in the pan. So whilst your pasta water is starting to heat up, we are going to add heat to the wok or frying pan, whichever you decided to use. I prefer a wok, it gives you a little bit more height when you're mixing the final ingredients in. Everything is going to go into this one pan, so just make sure you're using a pan that's big enough to fit everything in. Got the pancetta ready and waiting to go in, so just checking that. Yeah, seems to have a nice bit of heat in there, so we're gonna, and you'll hear that sizzle as you go in, so that's perfect. So at the moment what it's doing is it's going to release all the salts and waters that are in the bacon, and we're going to let that all cook off. And this is going to take a while, so it's alright that your pasta water's not ready yet, because what we want to see is this all cook off, and it's going to cook in its own flavours. Remember, I added no fat to this pan because there's plenty of fat on the pancetta itself. And we want to get that to a super crispy consistency, because once that's done, the other ingredients are going to go in and it's going to be ready in like no time at all. So the longest process of cooking this is your pasta water and your bacon itself. Okay, so this has been cooking now in there for probably 2 to 3 minutes, and you'll see it's starting to spatter. The salt water started to dissipate from the pan, and what it's starting to do is rendering its own juices, this is going to add loads of flavour to it. So we'll come back to that when it's ready to do the next step. Okay, so as you'll see from the bacon, the pancetta, it's doing exactly what we want it to do. So now we're at that point with that, and we've got a nice boil starting to go on with the pasta water. We're just going to turn that down. So we started off on the highest heat, and then we've reduced that down now to about 2/3 heat, maybe even slightly less. We're just going to let that sit there until it's ready for your pasta to go in. As you see, we've got a really nice boil going on from the pasta water there. So what we're going to do is just going to grab that pasta and pop it straight into the pan, and this is going to take around about 4 minutes when it's nice and al dente. It will cook slightly further once it's got to that point, but we're not going to start counting those 4 minutes until it gets its boil back on, because it's going to lose a bit of heat as soon as you put the pasta in. But as you can see, that is looking perfect now. We don't want that to get any more crispy, so we're going to turn it right down and just keep it on the very lowest heat, so it just retains its heat. We don't want this overcooking, and as you'll see, your pasta is now getting to a really good temperature. Just watching that on the boil, making sure it doesn't stick to your bottom of your pan. Bigger the pan, the better. Give it plenty of room to move around. Hopefully we get a nice roll on the pasta. So we'll give that 4 minutes. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a lovely roll going on there in the pasta. That's exactly what you want. So make sure your pan's big enough so that this process can happen. So it's going to cook through. You're not going to get bits that aren't cooked properly. It's very satisfying to watch when you got to stand and watch it for 4 to 5 minutes. Once that pasta's ready, this is going to be from pan to plate within no time at all. Just a few things we have to add in, but you'll see this is why I love making this. It's a family favourite, and it is so easy and so quick to cook. And when you try this, please leave comments, obviously, share it with people, but tell me what you think, because I think you will absolutely love this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take that now off the heat. So as you can see, we've turned that off. We're also going to take the second pan off the heat, so now we're not using any heat whatsoever. Don't drain your pasta. Some of the pasta water going into the pan is a good thing. It adds flavour, so as you can see, that's beautifully cooked. And you get a little bit of a sizzle as it goes into the pan. I don't know if you can hear that. And get all that beautiful pasta in there. You don't want to leave any in the pan. Don't want to waste anything. And everything you'll see me cooking on here is what we eat. This is what we eat in the house. This is our dinner for tonight, for sure. And while I'm doing this, I'll tell you, actually, I made a video for my brother because he wanted to know how to make pizza. And he liked it that much, he said I should do it for other people. So I thought, wow, why don't we stick it on YouTube? See if other people like it. So we're just going to mix the bacon in there. So as you can see, that's just picking up the oil, everything else. It doesn't matter if you mix it in too much, it'll all get in there in the end. Nobody's going to miss out when we dish that up. Okay, so here's the cool bit. Okay, so we're going to add the cheese in. As you can see, it's not a lot, 30 to 35 grams. And we're going to put some pepper on there and just give that a good shoot of pepper there. Not going to do anything, not going to mix it or anything. Now, this is the important bit. The reason we've turned the pan off is the last thing you want to do is scramble your eggs. These eggs are going to cook like you can cook an omelette in a minute, 2 minutes, depends how you like it. These eggs are going to cook on the residual heat of the pasta that's just come out of the pan. Because the pan's cooled down, but the pasta's hot, it's not going to scramble. So you've got to be really quick with this. And this is the last thing it's going to do. It's going to be ready. So all we're going to do is we're going to drizzle it around like this. In there. And with your tongs, give it a super quick. You want to mix that around. Get it all mixed into your pasta. See, we ain't got scrambled eggs. And you see that creaminess that's coming, that literally is the egg with the pasta water, with the rendered fat from the bacon, and there you have. Probably the best, not because I cooked it, but just because it's cooked the right way, the best version of carbonara. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'm about to go feed the family. Thanks for spending this time with me. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. Now, like I say, please subscribe for more videos. There will be more of these coming out. This is the very first one. So again, hope you liked it. Enjoy your dinner.